What equipment or weapons qualifications did you earn, and what was that training like for you?
So I had, in basic, we had, actually, into Riley, I had like even more weapons qualifications, but the main ones are like, M4, the regular just rifle one. We did M17, which is the pistol, and of course the mortar, live fire training and all that. And then anti-tank weapons. Since we're infantry, we just do everything. Other MOSs that are just like support MOSs, they don't really do all the weapon systems. So like us, we did everything except for like the saw, which is like the smaller machine gun, because that's more of a regular infantry thing, like a rifleman thing. But pretty much every kind of like machine gun, anti-tank weapon, and like small arms, even mortar and like all that is what we did.
What was the hardest part of your training?
Probably the rucking was pretty terrible, because we had to do that a lot. It's where you just walk with like it's like the 50-pound backpack, like just for miles. It's not inherently hard, but for me specifically it was, because like I had a back condition I didn't know about, so it hurt a lot more than others. But probably that. Physically that way.
Having a back condition, what was that like going into the military and through your training with a condition? What was the care like being in the military during that time?
Well, I didn't know about it, so I just went with it for like 3 years. It just got worse and worse. Because I didn't know about it, and I was just like kind of apprehensive about getting checked out, because I was like, whatever, it'll feel better in like a couple days or whatever. And then like it sort of didn't, but that's like later on the line when I got it checked out, before I got out.
And how often did you mentioned rucking, how often did y'all ruck in the military?
In basic, every week, like almost every day, at some point every day. But in Riley, it's the weird thing about Riley is you don't really ruck a lot as much as other units, because it really depends on the unit and like how they just do stuff. Some of them are just like, yeah, whatever, and they don't do it much, like kind of mine was for a bit. But like when you're in a heavy unit like I was, which is like mechanized, which Fort Riley is fully mechanized, which is, we had mortar tracks and like Bradleys and all that. But if you're in a light unit, which you're not mechanized, you just walk everywhere pretty much.
Did you receive any promotions throughout your time?
Yeah, I did. There's like the regular promotions you get, like which is time and service, and that's like E1 to E4, so like private to specialist. That just happens automatically unless you do something stupid. But then like I did get I got wavered to corporal right before I got out too.
And as you kind of got promoted throughout your time within the service, can you describe some of how your tasks and duties throughout those changed over time?
Yeah, as a private, really, that just kind of pertained to, like, specifically for a mechanized unit, that kind of just pertained to me being like the vehicle operator. So like I would deal with pretty much all the low-level maintenance on it, and like thoroughly checking the vehicle every Monday and all that, and just making sure it's like dispatched weekly, which means it's like, good to drive off the motor pool and all that, and just little stuff like that. But as time went on, like as a specialist and all that, you kind of like will go up in like more responsibility, of course. So I would be like a gunner on the mortar, which is like the highest kind of position on the gun team aside from like the squad leader. And so like I would be in charge of like all the, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. But I would be in charge of the mortar team and all that. I would be the one like inputting all the data into the site unit, which that's just a whole thing that I don't have time to explain. But basically just getting the gun on the right target, of course. That's being with the data that's been given to me. And also just little stuff too, like as a specialist, you probably are going to be in charge of like 2 or 3 guys or whatever. So like, I mean, with the size of our mortar section, it was kind of like the specialists would sometimes be like basically the team leaders instead of like sergeants, and like sergeants would be like squad leaders. But yeah, that's pretty much how it went.